TVC Breakfast. Now, President Bola Tinubu's recent decision to grant clemency to 155 individuals, including persons convicted for various serious offences, has sparked a wave of mixed reactions across the country. Now, the presidential pardon, which was announced as part of efforts to decongest prisons and promote restorative justice, has drawn both condemnation and criticism from different quarters. On one of the most controversial names on the pardon list was Mariam Sanda, who was convicted in 2020 for killing her husband, Bello, and sentenced to death. In the official statement, the presidency explained that Sanda's pardon was granted after her family's plea, emphasizing her good conduct in jail, remorse, and embrace of a new lifestyle as key factors considered. Now, joining us in the conversation for this very, very important topic is TV host and columnist Sam Omatashe. Again, he's joining us for this conversation. Good morning to you once again on this conversation. You know, we have been talking about it, on the table a lot of times. When the president did this, there was a lot of, controversy. Even Atiku came out to speak and he said that, he believed that some of the names were not the best. We saw the Ogoni Five, we saw Herbert Macaulay. But then this particular Mariam Sanda is one that has really drawn a lot of conversation on social media, knowing the fact that at some point, I think that was 2017 or so when the issue happened, she had killed, her husband, and it went viral. Everybody was talking about it. People are now arguing that why give clemency to such a person, that has committed this kind of atrocity? That has been, the conversations. But Uncle Sam, quickly, what are some of the things you pick from this, and the clemency as well? Do you think that some of the names should not have been there?
Well, first off, we have to say that even the Attorney General of the Federation has said, well, there's no finality about the list, and we have to grant them that prerogative as well. Yeah. That they've said there's no finality in the list. But the first thing we have to understand is what is the meaning of prerogative of mercy. The prerogative of mercy means that the president is granted the power to forgive whoever he wants to forgive. I think this thing it comes from a certain sense that the legal system is not the final arbiter for justice. That's why it says. That's why I know there's a line in the play by Shakespeare, Merchant of Venice, when it says, "Mercy seasons justice." As they talk with Shylock, the court scene. Now, having said that, there have been some people who have said, these people, they are drug dealers, they are kidnappers, they are these. If you want to give mercy, you give a mercy to a saint. You give mercy to people who have done really bad things. And if you want to give mercy, you have to decide. That's why it's called prerogative. You have the right to forgive who you want to forgive. And it shows that the canvas is open, and it's not in Nigeria alone that happens. It happens in the U.S. Every president does it. Even President Trump has done it. People will criticize it. Biden did it to his son. I think Clinton did it to his brother. And things like that happen. You decide who you want to forgive, and when you forgive, you're forgiven. And the idea of the person being in a criminal situation, he has committed murder, he has committed arson, he has done that, those things are very bad. But if we cannot forgive, how do we cleanse a society if there's no sense of forgiveness? If there's no sense of forgiveness. There's the story of the uproar against, it reminds me of the story of Jesus, when Jesus was confronted with the idea that a woman was going to be killed. And he said, if you have not committed sin, cast the first stone. It's to show that in society, a certain mob feeling always comes for the criminals. Though we are cleaner than the criminal. But we are the society that created the platform for crime. So when a person forgives, let us even forgive the forgiver. We're not even in the mood to forgive the forgiver for forgiving. You know, that's it. Remember the case when Jesus Christ was about to, I said that case of the woman was adultery. What of the case of the thief who was beside Jesus Christ before
the cross of Calvary?
Yeah, the cross of Calvary. He said, Lord, remember me when thou comest to thy kingdom. And what did Jesus Christ say? I say unto you today, thou shalt be with me in paradise. That was the thief.
Yes.
Now, the justice system was finished. Death, just like that of Sandra, was on the way, you know. But they said, okay, I forgive you. Now, if you come to the case of Sandra, I've thought about it. Somebody said, oh, well, if you want to forgive her, she should serve a longer term. You have not served 2 days in prison to know what it is to be in prison. Murder for any reason is bad. One of them was a kidnapper who actually kidnapped a friend of mine in Delta.
Wow.
You know, who killed a driver and so on. Those are very bad people. But they say, well, he has turned the corner. Who am I? Who am I to? Just like the Pope said, who am I to say one man is more righteous than the other, and so on. Yeah. So if those people have committed bad things, but we are also supposed to say that, okay, what are the conditions? Have they shown any sense of remorse? Well, we'll see. The case of Sandra is, I've always said, is a case of trying to save 3 people, or how many children does she have? And one person, the father-in-law, that's the father of the husband, says we need her to come back and take care of these children.
Right. Yeah.
So, who do we want to save? We want to save one and imperil 2, or we save the 3 and give the other one another chance. It's a very difficult decision for people to want to say we want to take, because we have a very judgmental society.
Yes, it is the kind of situation you want to handle with care. Yes. You know, because any way you look at it, somebody will have something to say about it. But what I have realized is that people are really concerned about the rehabilitation of prisoners in Nigeria, you know, and they believe that the rehabilitation process is not complete for most of the people that found their names in that list, and that's why there's an uproar. You know, for Sanders, for example, there was a plea on her behalf that she has really reformed, you know, so we can understand that. But what about the rest? These people, when they are released, they are going to be put back into the society. What is the tendency that old habits that die hard won't resurface?
There's no guarantee for anybody. There's no guarantee for any person. But if we are going to follow that, we will not forgive anybody. There's no guarantee for anything. But if you say there are certain things these people have done to show remorse, a sense of understanding that they have done wrong, if you want to use that as a condition to say, I forgive them, you are acting like a human being too.
Yes.
That everybody deserves a second or third chance. Like, you know, like Alexander Pope said in the popular line, said, to err is human, to forgive is divine. But the point is that sometimes we believe that to err is human, and the prerogative of vengeance. Yes. So the way is vengeance more important? Because let us look at the history of the jail system. It used to be called penitentiary. The U.S. they usually call it penitentiary. You know, the penitentiary, in the sense that, and it had a religious color, flavor to it. It means that we put you there in order to make you penitent, in other words, to make you remorseful of what you have done. But over time, we've seen jail as a place to kill him, punish him. It's a stupid man, a foolish man, it's a bad man. So there's no possibility of redemption. So that is that we probably have to go to the root of that to know what it is. But that also means that we have to make our prison system also more humane, more accepting of the humanity of those people who we put behind bars.
That's right. I guess that is the reason they call it, we now call it correctional facility.
Correctional facility,
even though that appears to be in name, but not, really in practice.
Yes. Some systems do it. Some countries in the Scandinavia, they make their jails more humane and more purifying. Right. So it's supposed to be a purifying experience, a time for you to think about.
That's right. So when a crime is committed, the one who committed the crime, certainly there is a victim. The victim in this case, you mentioned Miriam Sunda. I think you mentioned Miriam Sunda, the husband and the family. So the government has, or the president has the prerogative of mercy as guaranteed by the Constitution. But then, does he also have the prerogative of, appeasing the family that they are grieved, the aggrieved family, saying people that feel hurt. How do we address that particular issue with them? Because some of them will not let go. So do you not think that would lead to distrust between the government and the aggrieved?
We have to understand that vengeance has nothing to do with the future.
Okay.
In the sense that if you hurt me and I say they should hurt you, what has that done to me?
Yeah, the person
some people say you feel gratified.
Yeah, well, some people say it is biblical. Yeah. They say an eye for an eye.
No. Jesus himself has said those things are behind. That is Old Testament.
That's Old Testament. Yeah.
That you have to forgive. He said Jesus himself has said that you should forgive. So if we forgive, that means that we have moved on. That if we feel that we have to put the person down, then we are still at that level where the person is. So we need closure. We need to move on.
I don't want us to go religious, but others will still argue that if you look at Matthew 5:17 to 20, for instance, where Jesus Christ said that I did not come to delete or reject the law of the old, but to make them manifest. So much so that those
who fulfill it. I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. How do you fulfill it? He explained it in the whole of Matthew chapter 5. Go religion. He explained it in the whole of Matthew chapter 5. That if a person hurts you, if a person slaps you, turn the other cheek. So if we want to go to that level, it's all about forgiveness.
It's all about forgiveness. True. It's all about forgiveness. But another question I want to speak on is, a lot of people are arguing on social media that why did they bring out the names if they are not sure of the names? Because we then heard that, they are still vetting the names. But then we wonder that, why do you do this? Now, if you brought out some names and at the end of the day you are telling me that these ones are not going to be given clemency, how do you want their families to feel?
I agree with that. There was probably some problems with that, so they have to deal with that. I spoke with a top person in government. Yeah,
but how would they deal with it now?
They will deal with it. I mean, at least if you make a mistake, if you are forgiven, that's why I said if you are forgiven, at least the least thing you expect is for people not to forgive you. The forgiver also deserves forgiving. So if in this context they feel that some names ought to be deleted, let's give them the opportunity to do it. The other people always say that, they are great criminals. Some of these people are talking are Marxists. And Marxists, fundamentally believe that it is society that creates the crime and not the criminal. William Butler said it, Samuel Butler, right? I said society creates the crime and the criminal commits it. But even Samuel Butler himself is not a Marxist. But Marxists like that line. But when it comes to this, now I've seen some of the Marxists, no, these are hardened criminals and so on. But you should be the first to say that the society made them hardened criminals, made them drug pushers, made them murderers, made them this, made them that.
So you disagree with that, with that notion that the society creates?
No, I believe that society sets the template.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying that the Marxists have become hypocritical when it comes to this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me just put this here. Do you think the opposition is trying to use this? Because I'll take you to when Atiku had put on his social media that he doesn't think that is a fantastic idea. So do you think that in one way or the other, opposition are trying to use this as well? Are they trying to politicize it?
Well, what else do you expect them to say? That Tinubu did well? That would be the day. Yeah? Have you ever seen them recommend? For instance, I said that that we have reached the third quarter portfolio has risen to 1.8 trillion, which is the top ever in the country. Will you see Obi issue a statement tomorrow to say that, oh, that was a great article, Usman come and say, oh, you really did a good job this time of opening up the market? No. If there's somebody there who did not invest well in the 1.8 trillion, that's the one they will bring out there and say, that man there is a fraud.
Now, a lot of Nigerians do not know the process at which this list is put together for the prerogative of mercy, and I hope you will enlighten us.
What happens is that there's always a committee. A committee was set up to look at them. So there will be petitions, there will be cases that are brought before them, and then they have to examine them. Have they shown penitence? What have they been doing? Some of them are already taking courses in universities. There are people who see them every day, who take care of the prisons, who see them every day, who say, oh, this person has already turned the corner. So it's based on of all of these that they sit down and then they say, okay, this case is deserving of pardon. This case, no, this one is still a bad man. Yeah, he abused the warden yesterday. I even gave him a very dirty slap. So let's put him out. This one the other day. This one, no. It's always soiling the whole place and lying that he didn't soil the place. So say put that one aside. But the other one is always spraying and always gentle, and then you slap him, he just say sorry and so on. Okay, I think this one is okay. Those are the basis. Whether they reach deep to the heart, are they penitent because they are in the penitentiary, or they are genuinely penitent? We can never know. Okay, that's why you can only act on what you.
Yeah. Does the president have a hand in who makes the list?
No, they just set a committee. Okay. There's no evidence that any of them. There are people who have asked the question, but nobody has traced anybody to the president's friend, the president's family, the president. Nobody has done that.
There's a question there's a question from him, from one of the viewers, and they're saying that we have agreed that, sorry, Brian, we've agreed that it's a mistake. So at the end of the day, does it mean that we just forgive these people so that we do not bring back wounds if some of the names that have been put have to be taken back? And this is for one of the people. The names that were put, at the end of the day, they said some of them may not be forgiven. So now the person is saying that, do you think that we should just forgive everybody since their names have already been put out so that we do not relieve all wounds?
I don't have the prerogative. Okay. The prerogative is to those who have the prerogative. Okay. We all try to be like our Lord. He said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. But then, if you look, some human rights activists are saying that pardoning historically prosecuted activists, implies that they were guilty of the reason they were killed. Citing the Ogoni 9.
Yeah, good question.
What they needed was not pardoning, rather than exoneration. So I want you to help us understand the. The word. I'm actually heading somewhere. Help us understand the difference between the word pardon itself and exoneration, legally and symbolically.
What pardon means, either you are guilty or not guilty. Once you are given pardon, it means that you are set free. It is not as morally fraught as many people see it. It's not like Jesus giving you the cleansing of life, the cleansing of the Holy Spirit. That's not what it means. When Gowon pardoned Awolowo over treasonable felony, it didn't mean that Awolowo was guilty. It meant that Awolowo was free. That's what it means.
But playing on words, they are saying that it will have been.
Exoneration is only part of it.
That they were never.
They were never guilty.
Exactly.
Yes, they were never guilty, but the law says they were.
They were.
Even though it was applied wrongly.
Yeah, that's why I say that. Regime. Yes, that's why I say that the idea of the prerogative of mercy also assumes a flaw in the legal system. An inadequacy. You know, there is a place in the Bible that says, all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. Thoreau, the American philosopher and writer, he said, the law has not made anyone a whit more just. So there's legality and then there's morality. You can be legally criminal, but morally free. But that's the way.
It's quite complicated.
So the word pardon is not necessarily always. It could be moral. It's not always moral. It just means that from the point of view of the law, you have been set free. Go and sin no more.
Go and sin no more. But in the case of Miriam Sanda, your Super Sam, quickly, you know, what do you think is the right thing that should have been done? Because there are a lot of conversations that she should not have been given, you know, a pardon. And then again, you think about the 2 children. So you want to temper justice with mercy.
I said it. Yeah. I said, do you want to save the 2 children?
So
or you want to let the mother go, or you want to... You know, the mother did a terrible thing, you know? But nobody has really... the thing about marriage, too, is that sometimes we don't know all of the stories.
Most times.
Most times we don't know all of the stories.
Yes.
So sometimes you live it is the one that does the wrong thing that comes out bad. But you don't know all the stories. Anyway, 2 children. You want to save the 2 children, especially when you have the people on the other side saying that, please, let her, the so-called victim that you talked about.
Even the father.
When the people are saying that, okay, we've gone beyond the death of this man, now we want to save these children.
That's right. That's right.
So far, little children to come unto me, and forbid them not.
You're feeling very religious this morning.
No, I always feel
I took him there.
All right. Mostly, this prerogative of mercy is exercised when the country is celebrating something. But in this case, we're not celebrating anything, were we?
Celebrating forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
It's the prerogative of time.
Yes. Okay. so everything is prerogative.
So how about when we forgive some of these people, are we not afraid of recidivism? So much so that some of these people might, you know, because you said we are not so sure that these people have turned a new leaf. So are we not afraid of recidivism, you know, in the nearest future?
You know, I've always said that crime, when you talk about crime and punishment, crime does not always stop because there's punishment. But civilization has no other way to address crime than to punish. This writer, Michel Foucault, who wrote a book, Something and Punish, when they talked about the panopticon, when there's always somebody looking at the top, at the prison, and they looked at it and discovered that even the prison itself has become another platform for criminality, almost as if we are graduating from one level of criminality to another.
Because some people are sodomized, some are, you know...
Yes. Some come out. So penitentiary does not become penitentiary, it does not become correctional, but it creates a victimhood.
Yeah, so that answers my question, that we are not looking at the fact that that person might, you know, go back to what he or she was
You can
doing.
never be sure,
We don't know.
Can never be sure. We hope for the best.
We don't know. That is why we only act as humans. We only say, okay, let us have a bout of forgiveness. Because even as a society, we are not pure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even the one forgiven.
You know, but let's also talk about public acceptance as well, because that's another fear of mine. You know, we're forgiving them, but they're getting into the public, and we're putting Miriam Sanda on the forefront as well. I'm just hoping that, you know, she'll be received well and not every day be reminded, like her mental health now. How is she going to deal with that?
That's a good point. So we forget that there's also perpetual punishment, even if the person is set free. There's always that stigma that no prerogative of mercy can take away from you. And it is always there. This is the person who committed a crime. Even if you want to do anything, people will be watching, oh, is this guy going to do anything bad? We know him, or this man will keep us in the
overly suspicious.
Can I trust him with my brother, my son, my child, or my wife, or anything? So there is always caution. So you are always cautious of that too. So if you want to go that route, well, it's up to you.
Anyway, I would like to ask you this. For those that say that the list is not correct.
Or still being reviewed. Anyway.
Or it's
being reviewed.
Though it's still being reviewed, okay. Those that insist that some of those names shouldn't have been there at all, what do you have to tell them?
Wait and see.
See, don't
Wait and see. Wait and see, because they said they're going to I talked to a top person, governor, who said, he said we are being sensitive to feedbacks. And so we are looking at some of them. And the person was emphasizing that, look, some of these people have shown evidence of remorse. This is based on witnesses. It's not as if it was an arbitrary decision. Some of the committees sat, they might have made errors in some of their assessments. Some assessments may not chime in with the popular view, but they probably know more than most people know about these cases than the public knows. The public just hears the word drug addict or drug.
We act based on what we hear.
No, that person should not be, as if we are pure.
That's right.
Amazing. Like they say, he without sin should cast the first stone. Very beautiful conversation. Thank you so much, Super Sam. Well, still, all right. Okay, so we can still delve into this more. And like we've spoken about stigma as well, which is the fear that people will not accept her, also her children. I'm thinking that they still need to do like a mental evaluation for all of them when they come back home, even plus her, plus the children as well.
I think so. I think some of them should look for areas of self-redemption, if I may put it that way, purification. So if they want to go to religious counseling, they can do that. If they can go to paid secular counseling, they can do that. What they need also is a sense of acceptance and reintegration and self-assessment. It's going to be tough for them. Although we on the outside are saying, oh, don't forgive them. For them, they are in the process of even
forgiving themselves.
Yes, self-forgiving.
Very true.
So this is more like a follow-up to the question that I asked earlier. So those that are aggrieved, those that felt what's the word, who feel pain, as a result of the attitude or the action of the one who had been sentenced and now forgiven rather. What if they say? Would it be within their right to ask the government that, okay, fine, for us to let go, can you pay us a certain amount of money, or can you do so and so to appease us, and then to show that yes, we won't be angry any longer because we are still pain, we are still angry.
So you see the money that will heal you.
It may not be money. It may not be money.
It's symbolic.
It could be.
Then it's not forgiveness.
It could be raise a monument or do something. That to the benefit of the people.
No, then it's not forgiveness because forgiveness itself is spiritual.
But they are not the one forgiving. It is the government using.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That they need to feel that to be at peace with it, they have to be paid one way or the other. It takes away from the spiritual content of the exercise, because the exercise itself is supposed to rise above the law. It's supposed to be, in a sense, ethereal. So if you say that you want to get paid for it, you are materializing what is supposed to be essentially spiritual. So it doesn't. You cannot pay for a hurt. You can only use that to buy a biscuit or to buy a car.
Exactly, and it also says that the presidential pardon doesn't mean justice was wrong, but it's all about mercy.
It's about mercy. That's why this person said, Shakespeare, in his play, Merchant of Venice, he said, the quality of mercy is not strained. It dropped like the gentle rain upon the place beneath.
Of course.
So you saw that when the rain comes, where does it drop? On top of a hard
very
ground.
Fine place to leave, to leave the conversation, a very beautiful place to leave the conversation. Thank you so much, Super Sam.